Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I annotate. My annotating system is kind of confusing, not because it's complicated, but because I just randomly do stuff. But I'm going to attempt to explain my annotating system in this video. Ow! That was really painful. Okay, I'm going to start with what I use to annotate. We'll start with, I was going to call them utensils. They're not utensils. Writing materials? Writing utensils. That sounds right for some reason, but it's not a fucking fork. Pens and markers and stuff. Starting with highlighters, I use two different kinds of highlighters. I have these ones, which come in 6 colors, and they're all like pastel. They're the Bic pastel highlighters. And they come in blue, pink, yellow, green, orange, and purple. And they're just like nice pastel colors, so I think they look nice in my highlighting. I used to only use these. I also use the zebra, what are these called? Mild liners. I have a ton of them. I just grabbed a random 4 to show you in this video, but I got like the giant pack of them. And then I bought a couple like individual ones that didn't come in the giant pack. I obviously don't use all of them for every book. I like pick ones for certain books, which will be explained later in the video. As far as pens go, I use a few different things. So I have gel pens, which I use for underlining, and I just matched the pen like with a highlighter. And I have these, which I got from Amazon. I'll link everything down below to make this easier, but these are the Hanku 0.5 gel pens, and they just come with a bunch of them. And then I also use, these are the pens I use, the black pens that I use for like writing stuff, and this is the Papermate, whoops, Papermate 1.0. I don't know, it comes in a pack of like 20 or something for like $2, and I really like the way they write, so that's what I use. And then occasionally I'll use the red one for underlining because I don't have any gel pens that are this color of red. And like I said, I like the way these write. Quickly, pros and cons of these things. The pens and the gel pens don't bleed through the page whatsoever, which I love, and neither do these highlighters. But with some of the mild liners, they don't necessarily bleed through the page, but you can see them through the page because some of the colors are a bit darker, but they still don't like bleed through. So I like them, but some of the darker colors you can definitely see clearly through the page. And also kind of depends on the page of the book too, because some books have thinner pages than other ones, and so then even some of the lighter colors, if the page is thin enough, you can see it through. But those are the writing tools. That's the word. Those are the writing tools that I use when annotating. On to tabs, these are the ones I use. I get them from Amazon. I'm realizing that I don't know what they're called, but they'll be linked down below. They're just from Amazon, and they come in a bunch of different colors. I usually get the 6-pack one, but it also comes in like a 4-pack. I personally just need lots of colors to choose from, so I get the 6-pack. They also have a ruler on it, which if you're like a neat annotator, that would be like helpful, but I'm just messy and I just highlight and underline with no care in the world. But if you want to like make your lines nice and clean, these are also nice because they come with a ruler. Next is sticky notes. I use these sticky notes. I got these on Amazon. They came in a pack of a few different designs of sticky notes that are kind of like aesthetic looking. These are the sticky notes I use, and I use these when I want to write a little bit more than fits on like in the margins, and I'll just stick this on. In the past, I've used clear sticky notes because you can't see them, obviously. But personally, I don't care to use these. Now I just use these, but there are clear sticky notes you can get if you like want to write notes, but you don't want to actually write on the page. If you want to like write notes in the margins, these would be super cool to use, I think. But personally, I would just write right on the page. I don't care. So I don't really use these anymore. They also come in like the regular like sticky note size as well. I also keep a pencil in my annotating kit just in case I feel like drawing. Sometimes I draw stuff. If you really want to know the pencil I use, it's a Bic mechanical pencil from Costco. The last thing I use that I think are kind of cool are emoji stickers, which I got these on Amazon. These are actually not the best ones in my opinion because they don't actually have a lot of the emojis I want to use. Like it has the heart eyes emoji, which is okay, I guess. I don't love that emoji, but... And then there's like the crying emojis and the like laughing emoji, but like and the eye roll emoji. But there's not like the... I want like that hot one with the tongue sticking out, you know? And the like blushing one. There's... Oh wait, there is a blushing one. What's the other one? Oh, the one with the eyes with the like, you know... I don't know how to explain it. Those are the emojis I want, which are not on here, unfortunately. That's all the tools I use for annotating. Okay, now I'm going to explain these books that I annotate because I don't annotate every book, and then I'll explain how I annotate each kind of book as well because the system kind of changes depending on the book. Number one is rom-coms. I do not annotate rom-coms anymore unless it's an author that I really love, like I'll annotate like a Tessa Bailey book, but for the most part I won't annotate a rom-com anymore. I used to, but recently I've just found like I don't really put that much tabs in it and it just kind of looks pointless to even have them in there. Occasionally, depending, like if it's an author I really love, like I said, Tessa Bailey, then I will annotate it and I will follow this next system, which is my romance books. So I wrote romance and other genres, but like I don't really know what other genres that would include because I don't really read anything other than romance books. If I read like a thriller, I wouldn't annotate a thriller. Romance, this is how I annotate romance books. So I pick 3 different colors that match the cover and I make them like the same. Like I want them to be the same color. Like if the cover has a lot of pink, I'll pick 3 different shades of pink. Or if it has some yellow, 3 different shades of yellow. You know, like I want them to be all the same color, just different shades. And then I choose highlighters and gel pens that match each of those colors. Sometimes I'll use the same highlighter pen for all 3 of the colors. Sometimes I'll have different shades of them. It just depends on if I have highlighters that match each of the 3 shades or if I just have to use the same one for all of them. So the 3 different colors and what they represent. I have one color for romance, cute, just romancy scenes. And then I have another color for pretty much everything else that I want to tab. It's just called Other. And then the third one is for spice, spicy scenes. Hot lines a man says. I do this for 2 reasons. One reason, I like to have it, okay? And the second reason, it helps for when I'm giving like spice ratings of a book to see all of them, you know? So the third color doesn't happen for every book. Not every book has spice, obviously. So this color is only used for books that do have spice. So either if I know it's going to have spice, like I'm reading a Tessa Bailey book, I know it's going to be spicy, so I'm automatically have a color ready, or I'll just wait until there is a spicy scene and then I'll use it. And then I'll show this in like one of the little clips I insert, but I put the 3 different colors in the cover of the book, like with what they're representing, so that I have that guide to know what each of the colors mean. So that's romance or rom-coms that I decide to annotate. Fantasy books, I guess, would be the same. I don't really read a lot of fantasy, but the Shatter Me series, that's kind of how I'm annotating it as well. It's pretty much my system for most books. And then the final category of books is books I'm reading for school, classics, or like just deeper books where I want more variety of like tabs and what they mean. So for this one I pick multiple colors and each of them are representing something different, and sometimes it depends on the book. Often it depends on the class as well. Like if I'm looking for something specific, some kind of specific theme for an essay or whatever, then I'll like have that specified. But some examples are characters. I'll have a color for characters, themes, settings, important details, things like that. And in this case, I have a guide at the front of the book as well. Okay, finally, I'm just gonna explain how I actually annotate, like what I write, what I highlight, whatever. So for highlighting and underlining things, I just kind of highlight and underline things I like, things I want to remember, lines I like, and I don't really have a guide or a method of like what I highlight versus underline. It's kind of just how I feel, and then sometimes if I really like something, I'll like underline it and highlight it, or I'll like underline certain parts of a bigger highlighted area. I do what I think looks nice or what I want. I really don't have much of a guide. as far as that goes. Over longer sections, longer paragraphs, I'll put like a bracket if I want to like highlight the whole thing, but I don't want to like have the whole thing highlighted, but I like the entire part, you know what I mean? I'll put like a bracket around it. So sometimes I'll put like a bracket, like an actual bracket, or sometimes I'll just put like a line next to the paragraph. Sometimes I'll put like little doodles. Often I'll do little hearts around like romantic parts. Sometimes I'll do like stars or draw little flowers, or just like things that like relate to the book. Like for example, in Hot House Flower, or in Long Way, no, it wasn't in Hot, I don't know. In like Hot House Flower and Long Way Down, I drew lots of little like flowers because Daisy, and he talks about her being like a flower and stuff. The emoji stickers are pretty self-explanatory. If I have a reaction that I want to use an emoji for, that I feel like the emoji expresses my feeling, then that's when I'll use it, because that's what an emoji is for. For the things I write, I'll write random thoughts if I have a thought and I want to like write it down. And I also often write predictions down in books, which is why no one can borrow any thrillers that I own. Like Verity, I wrote so many predictions down. And then when I have a lot to say that doesn't fit inside of the margins, that's when I pull out the sticky notes and I'll write on the sticky note and then just write on the book. And then finally, tabbing. For tabbing, I just tab anything I highlight, underline, or write. And then sometimes I'll also tab a scene that I like, where maybe I didn't like actually highlight or underline anything in it, but I just liked the scene overall. I'll tab it. But mostly I stick to just tabbing what I highlighted or underlined, so I can easily come back to those annotations. And that is my system. It actually didn't seem that confusing when I was explaining it, so it's not that bad. Mostly it's just kind of, I do what I feel like works for me, and it's just very random a lot of the time. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like it and subscribe if you're not already. Also follow my social medias. They will be linked down below. It's itsashtaylor on everything: TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, Spotify, all of that. Link down below. And you can also join my book club on Fable. We are currently reading When in Rome by Sarah Adams. And I guess that's it. I'll see you in my next video.